The 12th of November 2025, you're welcome back. It's approaching dark here. The time is 20 to 5, 4:41 p.m. And you can see in the background there two wind turbines. This is not about wind turbines. I just want to connect the two. The situation with that Rara wind farm was it was built by Wind Prospect and Rara Developments Limited. As soon as they got it built, with a struggle against me and a few others, they sold it on to Eddie O'Connor's Mainstream Renewable Power. He's dead and gone, and many of his companies are in trouble in South America and Chile and other places. But before any of that happened, he sold it on again to Blackrock, because I was watching Eddie's Mainstream Renewable Power accounts, and I was beginning to think he was teetering. But of course Blackrock moved in, and they're the white knight. They bought it amid much fanfare. It's now emerged in that Blackrock loaned or lent or gave money or invested $150 million in a company known as Lenovo. And this company specializes in doing up kitchens, houses, providing materials and all of that sort of stuff. So you buy a house that needs repair, you get them in and they do the job. And that's not an industry that's very lucrative. It's a steady earner if you're able to do it and you're good at what you do, but you need to know what you're doing. And there are many private people in the small operators that can do it as good as any big company. In any event, when they exactly invested the $150 million is not fully provable. I can't find it out. But what we know, everyone was sailing on lovely until about a week ago. This day last month, this is the 12th, so we're talking about the 12th of October, all the reports were that Lenovo was doing grand, everything was no need to look here, just doing grand. But there were signs emerging that it wasn't able to pay its creditors. So the next thing we know, recently it filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in America, meaning it can't pay its debts, and its debts are unpayable from its resources. Now, the value of Lenovo is put at zero, ZERO. It was 150 million a week before, or a month before, certainly. Don't stick me to the week, but a month before. And right all through the summer of 2025, its value was given as full whack, full going concern, paying all its debts and everything. And now it's turned out it's worthless. And Blackrock has agreed it's on the hook for 100% of the losses. It's not going to get $1 back. Now, 150 million, you might think, isn't that much to Blackrock because it has so many irons in the fire, but apparently this is really waking up Wall Street and the investment community and governments. This is an amazing thing that Blackrock can believe Lenovo was 100% up above board, or everything going well, until almost a month ago, and even less. How can that happen? There had to be bills not being paid. There had to be a lot of things happening. So the big scare about this is not just the loan itself, it's that it could happen at all. And if it could happen, what else is in the pipeline? Now, there's also information I have that Blackrock invested in a crowd called Bankmat. It's a very hard to pronounce name. And Bridgevice. These are two telecommunications outfits. Now, nowadays, it's very hard to get up and running in telecommunications providers. Dennis O'Brien did it in Ireland years ago, but that was all new technology. This is well-aged technology. So the reports are that Blackrock invested $500 million in these two bank, BAMP, Bankmat. There's actually Mr. Bankmat is one of the guys in it, and Bridgevice. American companies, of course. Now, the word is they're going bottom up as well. If that's correct, and is still under investigation by me, Blackrock is set to lose a $650 million. And it transpires that these telecommunications companies have fraud on their books. That they gave a list of money that was owed to them from people they supplied. And this was collateral. In other words, if anything went wrong, BlackRock could call in this money. So if you take a telephone company, you'll always owe a bit of a bill. There'll always be somebody owing money. You never pay all your bills on time. You'll be always a week or two late. So if the company goes wallop, they had signed over their owings, their assets to BlackRock, and I showed you on the 2 videos on the balance sheet, on the profit loss account on the balance sheet, how that is handled. It turns out that the money was all moved offshore, and there are very little, if any, people who owe these 2 companies anything at all. And BlackRock is now talking about suing, which is not a great sign, and it more or less accepts that the money or that they lended was actually moved away somewhere else, and good luck with that. Again, the significance of these 2 things is, these 2 events, is that it happened at all. Not so much that BlackRock lent money when it wasn't wise to do so, but that it was fooled for so long that the whole thing was a scam, essentially. That's the big thing. Now, Jamie Dimon, I got it wrong the last time. Is he JP Morgan? Yes, I think so. Anyway, post. But he's a big fella anyway, and he's warned there's something not right. Dennis O'Brien, the Irish entrepreneur, many of you will have something to say about him. However, what these people say is relevant because they are in the know, big time. They have to be in the know. They're in board meetings and everything else. And he has warned this morning, according to radio television, according to him, the Irish government and people are not prepared for what is going to come. Warren Buffett, the investor, has withdrawn an awful lot of his money from stocks. And I actually warn, stocks are very risky. Equity or investment in firms can be very risky. And the idea that they can come along when you own the whole company, if you owned all the shares, they can issue that much more to somebody else and your holding is halved. That is a ridiculous state of affairs. Now, I just received information there from a well-wisher who says, now this person is a lay person more or less, but with a bit of knowledge. I think we are heading into a recession. The writing is on the wall. Permanent TSB are selling. Fastway couriers are gone. Are selling fastway couriers are gone, and the price of gold and silver have gone up. Right. A local builder I know has decided to pack it in and is working in a local factory. So milk prices are low. Spuds and grain made a loss this year. Now, so that's just a typical person giving me what to know, but is a bit in the know. Now, the thing about all of this is that many of the big building suppliers and that are experiencing a slowdown. Many of the big concrete suppliers could only supply a certain amount of the market that just hadn't enough product, but now it's easy going, and some of them are talking about going back to a 4-day week or something like that. Anyway, that's just a little bit extra. It's not looking good. And I've explained to you before about the whole situation with the EU. It's now coming out to start up its own intelligence agency. So instead of relying on the British police and the Gardaí and the French police, who have their own intelligence service, they're going to start up their own. And it looks bad. I'd worry about that, I can tell you. So, what about Trump's tariffs? I have a bit of suspicion if they're the right way to go. I'm not quite sure he was right with those. I have to say that. But it's not only that. It's the fact that I have identified many times and no one else agrees with me, and I've shown it on the balance sheet. You can come along with any product and revalue it to twice its actual value, and the revaluation amount goes into the profit and loss account as a profit. That is research. That's called fair value adjustment. And in a book called The Bean Counters, you'll get it there. Can't just think of the lad that wrote it, but The Bean Counters, he makes the point about that. He's talking about the accounting profession. You can actually come along with these windmills here, and we'll say you have each one of them valued at 2 million, we'll say. I think it was 30 million when it was built. And you can, if you're not making money, you can double it and say it's worth 4 million this year, and next year you can say it's worth 8 million, and the next year 16 million, and there's nobody to value them because all the hype, nobody knows what a second-hand wind farm is worth, and it's not a lot. The share price of Greencoat Renewables this morning was 67 cents, and no sign of it improving. And yet they're issuing more shares while the people who have the shares are not getting paid at all. They're losing 33 cents on every euro they invested. It's not looking good. This madness of green energy and net zero has to come a cropper. It has to come a cropper. And then we have the madness of the EU and Europe and Britain heading for war and mad for war when they have nothing. They haven't the backside in their trousers. I hope it doesn't come too severe, but there's something wrong with the accounting. Something wrong with the accounting, and I think I've explained that to you. Imagine a company like Blackrock giving out 150 million and them saying they're 100% up to a month ago. Imagine 500 million apparently gone west with these other two telecommunications companies. A very hard business to get going in, and yet it appears they're taking Blackrock for 500 million. 650 million. I have no sympathy. I hope I see them bankrupt and nobody will buy this crap here anymore. I have no sympathy for them at all. We'll see you back soon. I'm just trying to bring you up with the news. This is well documented. We'll see how it goes, and I'll keep you well informed. Comment underneath. Thank you very much. Bye bye.